What is up, my fellow budget travelers? Did you know that you can get free cruises with your player's card? Did you know you get free drinks in the Caribbean at a lot of the Caribbean casinos? I'll let you in on some secrets I've learned over the years, but overall, I'm going to show you how I win and how you can win too. But first, let's talk about the basics, because the most important thing, I harp on this all the time, you need to have a loyalty card. You need a player's card, rewards card, whatever you want to call it. Sign up for the emails, start getting those offers, because as you get more points, you're going to get free cruises, free drinks, free food, all kinds of freebies, but you only get it if you keep track of what you're doing, which you can only do while using the card. And just to give you an example, I have MGM reward card and I have Caesars rewards card, and these are the kind of offers I get. It doesn't matter what tier you are, you still get special rates. It's kind of like a loyalty card. You know, when you go to the grocery store, you don't get free groceries right away, but you get that extra discount that other people don't get unless they have the card. And the reason I get these kind of offers is because these programs are affiliated with these companies. There's a whole number of different things that they're affiliated with. I have a whole different video about rewards cards. You could check that out later. Here's a snapshot just to give you an example of some things that you can earn, all kinds of different things. But the idea is, if you're not tracking how much money you're spending, you're kind of just throwing your money away unless you hit. And as we all know, the odds are usually in the favor of the casino. So at least if you're spending a lot of money and having a lot of fun, getting free drinks, all this fun stuff, you're kind of gaining some of that money back in a way by accruing all these points, versus just throwing your money away. And if you lose, you lose. At least if you throw a little bit of money away, you might have a chance to get a free room or a free upgrade. You never know. Now, that being said, depending on how much the odds are against the casino is how many points you're going to get. So if you're playing table games and stuff like that, they're going to probably be less points on like a cruise ship. You get more points usually on a slot machine on a cruise ship. But if you're playing in like the Bahamas, you get more points playing on the tables than on the slot machines. So it just really depends on what place you're at. But make sure you look into that before you start gambling, because we are not just throwing our money away, we are playing point strategy.
Wow.
My next tip for both the Caribbean and cruise ships is to bring your own cash, because they do charge a lot of fees. The ATM will charge you a fee. A lot of times your bank charges you the fee. The casino sometimes has a fee. Cash in hand is always better, because whenever you go to that ATM, that's an extra $20 sometimes. Even when you go to the casino here in the States, they charge you like extra $8. So I can only imagine how much they charge at the ATM across countries, plus the exchange rate and all that stuff. One tip that I've heard is with cruise ships, you can take cash out and charge it to your room. So this way, at the end of your stay, that all gets dealt with through the bank versus the exchange rate in the casino, because they're going to be giving you like crazy fees. Exchange rate is not going to be as accurate. They're going to be tacking on a lot per dollar. At somewhere like Atlantis, they don't let you have that option. You have to go and open an account. It's basically like opening a loan like any other casino, where they don't just let you charge it to the room. They make you take out a loan with like the VIP services and all that stuff. You don't want to do that. Just bring enough cash to play with and you'll be good. And that's another thing I harp on. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Just bring money that you are okay to lose with, money that you want to play with. Don't be starting to tap into that bank, because especially with those overseas fees, it can get really expensive, because you're not really thinking in the moment. You're just taking out $100, then you take out another $100, then you take out another $100, where if you would have just taken out like $300 with the first transaction, it would have been a lot cheaper than now you have 3 different ATM fees, 3 different bank fees, 3 different casino. You know what I mean? If you do have to go to the ATM, I would say take out more than you need to. At the end of the day, I always say just bring with you what you want to play with and what you want to lose, and leave it at that. Don't go back to the casino. There's plenty of other things to do in the Caribbean. My next tip is, if you do end up winning, walk away. Because what's going to happen is they are going to offer you all these upgrades, all these opportunities, but what they're really trying to do is just get their money back. So don't fall for it. Just keep the room you have, put your money away, ask them to write you a check. Don't even put it as cash, because if you have it cash, you're going to want to spend it. Let me just walk you through an example. Say you hit for like $10,000 or something crazy, right? You hit one of those jackpots. what they're gonna do is be like, oh, we would love for you to stay at this suite. Now we would love to give you like $100 credit to dinner. We would love to do this. We would love to do that. The idea is the suite probably comes with some sort of extra charges. Most suites anyway come with some sort of extra charges. So you wanna ask, what are the extra charges for that kind of room? Because at this point, cruises are already paid for. You've already paid for the room. Same with Atlantis. You've already paid for your room. Everything is already paid for. So why do you really need that upgrade? Because now that you've had a good time at the casino, you're probably just going to hang out at the pool, hang out at the beach, or, you know, you're going to do something else basically. What they want you to do though is spend your money on ship now or on property now. They're going to be trying to get you to go to this dinner. Here's $100, but we know you're going to end up spending like $300 more. Or here's some free drinks because maybe you'll get drunk enough to go back to the casino and play some of that money back. So just be prepared for that because they are going to come at you, and then your email is going to be flooded with new offers like, come back for this free cruise, come back for this free stay with us for a week, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, just know that they're trying to get their money back. So if you play this in your favor, you can play it with strategy. You can ultimately win at the end of all this because you can kind of milk it. Just work the system, guys, but don't let them work you. My next tip while you're in the Caribbean or while you're on the cruise ship is to play as a team, especially when you're at those tables. Money is flowing. There is a lot of money flowing around. It's really easy for you to get carried away in the moment with the rest of the table. If you have one friend on the table and the other friends may be playing slots, just check in on each other because slots, you know, you get into that rhythm of like, it's gonna hit. And same with when you're on a table, the table's hot and you're up. So then you start doubling, you start tripling, all kinds of crazy stuff. So just keep an eye on each other. If you guys wanna just take turns playing, you can have one person playing and still kind of get free drinks from them in the Caribbean, because while they're at the table, there's always drink girls coming around. And most of the time they expect people to not be by themselves at the table, if that makes sense. A lot of times it'll be like a husband and his wife, or like two friends playing together, stuff like that. So it's not unusual for there to be like two people kind of backed up against each other. You just have to stay off the table. If you want to just kind of stand back and watch, you can totally do that. And a lot of times the drink girls will go ahead and serve you as long as you tip. Now, while you're in the Caribbean or on a cruise ship, a lot of times they will have a learn to play or blackjack night or something like that. They'll offer you kind of like a free amount of money, free play money basically, to learn how to play it with. And a lot of times they'll give you drink tickets because the idea is now that you know how to play, they want you to stay in the casino and play. But if you go in with like $20 and say you win $25 and you get 2 free drinks out of it or something like that, I think it's totally worth it to do one of these learn and play nights, even if you already know how to play, because you never know how much you'll actually get out of it. And I think it's fun to just go and experience the casino and have a good time. So let's move on to what machines to play and how to really win your money. One of my huge points that I would like to make is, you know, there's different nights of the week that are better than others to play strategically, I would say. Again, it's casino, you never know for sure. But with the cruise ship, it's guaranteed. People do go to the casino the first and last night, so you'll be able to have a lot of people, a lot of money in the machines flowing and stuff like that. And definitely if you're in somewhere like Atlantis, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the hot nights for the club. They have a club at Atlantis. So a lot of people come in to go to the club. So they'll come in to go to dinner, and then they go to the club, and then they go to the casino, or go to the casino, then dinner, then the club, vice versa, or there's shows, stuff like that. But basically it pulls a lot of people in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I would say those are like hot nights for casinos in the Caribbean. A lot of the casinos are probably like 24 hours, like Atlantis Casino is 24 hours. But on cruise ships, I know they have set times. Like for example, they're closed while you're in port somewhere. So just make sure you check that schedule. But there's definitely for sure nights that people are definitely in the casino. So I would gamble on those nights. Also think about hot areas to play. So for example, at the pool in Atlantis, they have the adults pool and they have an outside table. They had like blackjack, poker, craps, all kinds of stuff. They didn't have slots out there, but it was all table games. People were kind of in and out, and it was a lot of fun playing with different people, and you're in the sun and drinking. Similarly, if you're playing a slot machine in the casino and you see that a lot of people are playing the same machine, that means a lot of money is going through it. So the odds are better in your favor. So there is 2 ways to win. As I said, you can play points and win that way so that you get the free cruises and stuff like that. But if you're looking to play money, I would play differently. Generally speaking, I always hear slots suck in the Caribbean. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, always go on table games, digitalized versions of table games. My go-to games are the pop craps. A lot of times they're only $1 or like $5 minimum bet. Same with blackjack, will be dollar machines or $5 machines. You could also play poker, which is usually located at the bar. You know, at the sit-in bars is where you'll find most of the digital poker. It just really depends on the actual cruise line or the actual casino itself. You can look it up. A lot of people do this for a living, so they can give you better detail than I can. I'm just talking from self-experience, what I've seen and heard from my travels around the world. Now, everybody has their own way to play, but these are some strategies that I've learned over the years that tend to work. Let's start off with roulette, because this is one of the best chances of winning, honestly, especially if you have to do like a $5 minimum bet. Your chances of getting your money back are pretty good. I don't know about a big win, but you'll definitely be able to play for a while and rack in those free drinks. So the idea with this strategy is you basically cover the whole board plus the double zeros, and sometimes you do get lucky and hit those zeros and they pay out pretty good. So you want to put your chips at the bottom of the column, so aka it'll be on that line in between 1 and 4, 7 and 10, etc., etc. I also play 0, double zero. That's up to you. And remember, you don't have to play every line all the time. You can mix and match it. And with roulette, you can do the minimum bet inside the board or outside of the board. So outside of the board is, for example, red and black. So you're playing inside the board up above. But if you notice that black is hitting all the time, go ahead and put like $5 on black or something, and that could get you a couple more spins as well. Now, if you've been to the casino before or go often, you'll see a lot of people do this. They go all in on red or black. That's another way you could play. Whatever you bet is the money that you get back on this bet. So it's basically like doubling up your money. And this is somewhere where you could go into playing strategy. If you look at all the numbers before, if for some crazy reason, for example, black just hit like 6 times in a row, you could bet on red because red is probably going to come up soon, and just keep hitting red and double up, triple up. And it could pay off big considering it's a $1 table or a $5 table. If you're putting $100 down and you get $200 out of it, that's going to keep you playing for a while. Another strategy to throw in there now and again is to play a portion of the wheel. For example, if you see that 33 hit and 23 hit, you can play that quarter or that half of the wheel, however much you want to bet. But chances are one of those numbers is probably going to hit if the other two have already hit. And this is really easy to do because you just keep hitting repeat bet. So it's not like you have to place your numbers on all the numbers of that side of the wheel every time. It's really easy when you're playing electronic. And if you're playing on a real table, the idea is if you're tipping the dealer and you guys are having a good time, they can try and place the ball within a certain part of the wheel, supposedly, but it's worth a try. Now let's move on to my favorite. It is Pop Craps. I love this game. I am new to this game, but I have some good tips for you. The best part is you're not playing on a table with a bunch of people with opinions that don't matter to you. First off, trust me when I say shut off that volume because her voice is so annoying. So this is a craps table from Vegas, and the minimum bet was $3. So what you have to do is do the pass line first in order to enter the game. And the idea is you want to hit a 7 or 11, and that's going to keep paying you out every time that hits. When you do hit a number, now you're on the board, so you could either double up your pass line or not, or however much you want to put on the pass line, now's the time to do it. That basically means you're betting on the 6. So the first strategy is only playing the pass line. So that means every time you get a 6, you're going to win. Unless you get a 7 or 11, then the whole board will erase. I also like to bet the field because it covers most of the numbers except for 6 and 8 basically. So instead of specifically going on the 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, that's $5. You could put $5 in the field, and any of those that hit within that field are going to pay out really good. Craps is also fun because there's so many other side bets that you can do. Like, you will never get bored with this game. There's so much stuff you could do in this game. And one of those side bets can really pay off. Now, if you're on a hot streak, at any moment, you can always say all bets off. That means all winnings are paused. So if you do hit one of your numbers, you're not going to get paid with it. But if you hit a 7, you're not going to lose any cash on the table. And also don't forget to take your winnings once in a while. You can always reset your bet and start over. And again, there's no one on the table, so no one is judging you for saving your own money and taking your profits. When you're on a table, everybody has opinion. It gets really annoying. Another tip is to take a break, especially when you're up high. Make sure you take a break. You don't have to play every game. It doesn't matter. Craps, not so much because you're on the board until you're off the board, if that makes sense, because your pass line is always active, but anything else you can take off the table at any time as long as it's not in the middle of a spin. And for electronic blackjack, hopefully you're just playing by yourself. Again, we don't care what anybody else at the table is doing when you're playing, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to beat the dealer, so do whatever you want to do to try and beat her. But it's funny, people have a love or hate relationship with this game. I would say my favorite game to play overall is the dollar pop craps, especially when you have your own machine, so you're just playing by yourself and you're not having to wait for everybody around you to play. It'll look like its own little pop craps, and then everybody has their own little pop craps. Otherwise, they have the one that's one big pop crap in the middle. So that way you can control your own tempo, because I get impatient, and especially when I'm drinking, I get really impatient. It's more fun for me to just play me against the dice. If you like this video and you want to learn more about how I win at slots pretty often, you should check out this video next. And if you want to know more about rewards cards, make sure you check out this video here, because it'll give you details on more things that you can win, more things that you can be affiliated with. It's actually so much more than you may think.